Hi everybody, Mrs. Elmore here.
Miss Rutherford.
And we are just here to talk you through kind of a few general bits of information for year 5 and kind of an overview on what the year is going to look like, okay? Now, we know our slides are probably a little bit small, but don't worry, we're uploading these onto the website as well. So if there's anything you want to go back and check, you'll be able to access those, okay? So we've already introduced ourselves. Obviously, Miss Rutherford teaches 5R. And I'm 5E's teacher. We're really lucky because we have 2 teaching assistants, Mrs. Boys and Mrs. Tiagi, who work across both classes in the mornings, okay? Just to recap over this school day, in case you're unsure on it. So, drop-off is between 8:45 and 8:55 for Key Stage 2. We tend to close the register between 9 and 9:05, so if they can aim to arrive before then, that's fantastic. Break is the same as it was last year, so 10:40 till 11. The second session then lasts from 11 o'clock till 12:30, where the children then stop for an hour's lunch break, 12:30 till 1:30. We're eating lunches in the classrooms, just with the situation at the moment, but school dinners, again, are eaten in the classrooms and they can be ordered in the normal way, they're booked through the booking system. Pickup is at 3:30. You've probably seen us already there. Few things, Wheatfield Plus and Shine are still operating. They're operating kind of within their bubbles. And again, these can be booked in the normal way. Final little bit of admin is that any medication, if it hasn't been sent in already, please could it be sent in with a yellow form, which is available from the office, and the medication labelled so that we could administer that in school.
Okay, one that brings up a lot of questions is our PE days. This year we have got PE on Wednesdays and Fridays, but they alternate. So in odd weeks, it is 5R on a Wednesday and 5E on a Friday, and it swaps around for the even weeks. So the even weeks, it's Wednesday 5E and Friday 5R. Please can you send children in wearing their PE kits, as you have been doing already, making sure it's weather appropriate. Even if it's a bit chilly, we'll still be going outside, and just make sure that everything is labelled.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of the PE kit, obviously the first couple of weeks we're going to take a bit of getting used to it. If they come in their PE kit on a non-PE day, it's not the end of the world, okay? And we'll try and send out text reminders. Okay, so we're going to talk to you first a little bit about what maths looks like in year 5 and just cover some of the general topics we begin with. So firstly, something we're currently doing now and we spend about 3 weeks on is place value. Now this obviously builds on stuff that I've been doing all the way back since year 1, and it's just kind of going over and then building on that. So we do things like reading, writing, ordering and comparing numbers all the way up to 1,000,000, and we think about kind of what each place value column represents and is worth. There's a couple of examples on the board here. Again, you might not be able to see them. Have a look on the website, but it's things like how many 10,000s are there in 930,441? And a question where we've got 5 different numbers here and we need to order them in ascending, smallest to biggest order. All right.
Okay, we'll be moving on to addition and subtraction. We'll be using some methods that are really familiar to the children and yourself. So our most common method for addition, for example, is our column method, which you will see on the website. And we've also be looking at inverse calculations this year. So that will be something we're really looking forward to exploring with the children.
Absolutely. Multiplication and division, it's something that comes, I think, at the end of this term a little bit and then into term 2. Again, times tables was something they would have really focused on in year 4, and we want to keep building on that and practicing. It's then kind of applying that knowledge, and we work all the way up to multiplying a 4-digit number by a 2-digit number. So for example, 4,292 times 21. Again, there's a couple of different methods we explore to do this. The flip side of that, we've got division. Again, bus stop method over here might look familiar. Again, we go all the way up to a 4-digit number divided by a 1-digit number, thinking about, your grouping, etc. Some other things that we do in year 5, looking at square numbers, cube numbers, things like factors and prime numbers, and yeah, different kind of number facts around multiplication for that as well.
Okay, and then in term 3, we'll be moving on to fractions, decimals and percentages. This is where we're looking at comparing and ordering fractions. looking at how we can add and subtract and multiply, so really exploring the different relationships between fractions. And then we're looking into converting fractions, decimals and percentages, so moving from one to the other. How do we convert into each type there? We've got some example questions again. That's the sort of thing. We might have some true or false questions there for them to explore as well.
It is quite a meaty topic, but they do learn to love it, and we've got loads of silly chants and stuff to help us with them. Okay. Mastery and problem solving. Now, this is an approach that we use across maths, across all the year groups, and it's basically our way of looking at deepening the children's understanding when it comes to maths. Okay, so thinking about kind of two different prongs to it. You've got problem solving, which is where we'll have questions. It might be a word problem that's multi-step. They have to do a few things to solve that. We've got the example, there isn't one on the board. I'm telling a lie, there's not one on the board. Yeah, multi-step kind of things. You've then got your reasoning questions, which are where we ask the children to kind of look at something, prove whether it's true or false, and convince us using a written explanation paired with some kind of, I don't know, mathematic explanation as well, perhaps in a number sentence or something like that. So basically, something we do in all our lessons just to really deepen the children's understanding.
Okay, Maths Planets. Maths Planets is one of the most...
Oh, hello. There we go.
One of the most popular parts of our maths curriculum. We will be testing it on a Friday. As before, your Maths Planets overviews and your samples are on the website in the usual place. We recommend that the children have a look at their maths facts about 3 times a week at home, just to prepare them for those Maths Planet Fridays.
Absolutely. The other thing to note is that we are continuing from where they finished off in year 4. Yes. I know we had the big break, so we're hoping to kind of really get them through those and move on. And if there were any problems, then we'd be more than happy to kind of speak to you guys and work through those. Okay. Right. See how. Other things to help then, there's just, maths is everywhere. You can make maths, anything at home. A few different ways you can practice. Money, it's not something we use as much these days, but counting it, adding it, subtracting it, all that kind of thing. Time, telling the time is something that comes up all the time, so as much practice on that would be brilliant. Times tables, again, just really nailing those facts. They would have done up to 12 times in year 4, and they are something that come up lots and lots in our lessons. Measuring, whether that's, baking, measuring out liquid, whatever it might be. And finally shopping, budgeting, costs, again, addition, subtraction, all these type of things can help.
Okay, so now we're going to have a brief look into our reading and writing, our English curriculum this year. Okay, so first off, our reading books. They are available from our class library and the school library, and they can also choose to read books at home. Any books that have come from us that have gone home, when they return to school, they go into our lockdown library box, just to make sure they're fully safe for 72 hours before they head back into the main library. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so our reading incentive, it is the same as it was before in that it's in increments of 10. We are encouraging the children to read as much as possible. We ask for a minimum of 5 times a week at home. That only needs to be about 15-20 minutes a night. But every time they read 10 times, they move another step through the reading programme. When they get to 50, 100, 150, etc., that's their checkpoint, and they can go and choose a reward book from Mr. Winterburn and Mr. Woodworth. It's something we are super duper keen on in here. The theme we've gone for in year 5 is travelling around the world. So all the children have a little passport and we move around different locations around the world. We'd love to get them moving. Please encourage them. It doesn't have to be reading, with you every night. It might be that they're reading independently. You're signing off. It might be that you're doing some reading together and, doing a bit of shared reading. Whatever it is, please encourage them. Reading records in on a Friday when they're going to be checked because, we'd love to get them moving around it. Okay, so reading, in terms of our reading offer in school, we have whole class guided reading sessions, which is where we look at kind of a range of different reading style questions and different skills. So we start off with things like inference skills. This is where we ask the children to look for clues in a text as to reasons
a character might be feeling something or reasons why something might have happened. It's something that's not going to be there in black and white. They have to go and look for the clues in the writing to help them work it out. Prediction, thinking about what they've read already to make predictions about what might happen next. Fact and opinion, so again, looking at something, working out whether it might be fact or opinion and the evidence behind this, and also making links and comparisons. Again, it's something we do all the time, but we want to be really explicit in kind of making those links between different texts, different characters in texts, etc. Okay. The other thing, when it comes to the word reading, obviously, again, we're building on where they were previously, but we are looking at word reading being kind of being able to read prefixes and suffixes at the start or end of words, but also our year 5 and 6 statutory words, also known as keywords or common exception words. They will also be on our website.
Okay, across the year, we're really excited to be giving the children opportunities to explore lots of different writing styles.
Technical, there we go. Back in business.
There we go. Okay, we're giving them lots of opportunities to do different learning styles, different writing styles, including narrative, instructions, newspaper, poetry, writing to inform, so having reports, non-chronological, letters, and all sorts of different writing across the whole year. It's really exciting. We've seen some great writing already in the first couple of weeks, and we're really looking forward to celebrating that a bit more.
Absolutely, loads of different types. Okay, so these are, again, this list will be available on the website. It's basically a list of our common exception or keywords. It's words that kind of go against different spelling rules that the children would have been taught. And it's a list of words that we really encourage the children to learn and practice. There is something called Spelling Shed. The children will have been introduced to it before. We can recirculate logins if anyone needs it, but it's a really great resource to help them learn these words, but also other words.
And our weekly spellings will happen on a Friday. So you've been sent a list home. They have been made up of our keywords, our key spellings, and also some of our topic words. Some of those tricky Egyptian words have cropped up already. Each week they will be tested on 10 spellings or 6 spellings, depending on which group they're in. And we just encourage you to help them practice those at home.
It might be little and often, it might be they sit down for 20 minutes and learn them all in one go, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, whatever. Just a reminder that for this term, we're kind of refocusing on the year 3-4 spellings, I should say, recapping over those before we move on to year 5-6 ones. Okay, so our wider curriculum. Now, wider curriculum, all the other subjects essentially have always been really important, but here at Wheatfield, we are really, really keen to kind of increase the focus on those, raise the profile of them, and get the children really excited and engaged in all areas of learning. Okay, so you may have noticed already that on our website, we've got some real swanky new badges, and there's basically a different logo for each subject. The children are familiar with those, and it's basically about making sure the children, they feel confident in saying, well, actually, in science, I am a scientist. In geography, I am a geographer. And again, being really explicit and clear about what it is we're learning and kind of how that helps us moving on. Okay, so again, if anyone wants any more information on those, come and ask us. We'd be more than happy to chat about it. The kind of breakdown of what we're learning each big term, so term 1 and 2, 3, 4, is included in our newsletter, which is also on our website. So I'll just tell you a little bit more about, so if we focus on history as one of those subjects. So obviously, like I said, the focus is kind of increasing, but something else we've introduced this year is something called a pupil organiser. Pupil organiser is something that will be used across all year groups, across kind of all subjects, or wider curriculum subjects. And I've got a history one as an example here for you, based on our ancient Egypt topic. So these get given to the children, put into their books. It's a reference point for them, and basically it includes a few different things. So firstly, it includes all of the different skills and knowledge that the children will be learning across that unit, okay? So we want them to be really clear in what do I know, where am I going with this learning? Got some pictures to support. We've got some key questions over here to get them thinking about their topic. And also, for example, in history, each pupil organiser includes a timeline there to help them kind of build on their understanding of chronology. The last thing they have is a list of different vocabulary and definitions that come up across the unit, again, just to make sure that they're able to access all of that. Again, if you want to see any of these examples, just let us know and we can send one home.
Okay, and we've mentioned the website quite a bit. We have updated it, and it's now swanky. It has all the information you need on there. Keep checking back because it's got links to, as we've said already, our newsletter, this presentation, so you can actually read it, and lots of different things that we are doing this year. We have also, and you're probably watching it from this thing, have got our own Year 5 YouTube channel this year, which is really exciting. So we can pop this video up, and also anything else in the future, we might be popping things up for you to have a look and a listen to.
Okay, yeah, so make sure you subscribe. We want to go viral.
Yes.
All right. I think this is the final thing. So just in terms of kind of assessment and our check-in points of view. Now, as the situation kind of dictates at the moment, the parents' evening is going to be slightly different this term, in that we will be holding that virtually. Now, there's going to be more information on that, but we just wanted to let you know that now. So we'll have our parents' evening in term 1 virtually. We also then have another parents' evening in term 4, and we'll, again, more information will be on that as we know. But that will be kind of checkpoints to check in on children's progress, how they're finding school, etc. Reports then do go home in term 6 as well. But, you know, those are our kind of main checkpoints. At any point in between those, if you have any questions, queries or concerns, do just come straight to us and we will do our very best to resolve them, okay? Parent helpers, we are so desperate to have you guys in helping and getting stuck in. At the moment, again, with the situation as it is, we're unable to do that, but we will be letting you know as soon as any of that changes, all right? Did we have one more?
No,
that is it. So thank you for bearing with us. What have we done? 16 minutes, nearly 17 of Year 5 joy. Our emails are on the website. So if you've got any urgent concerns, questions following up to this, please do email us. It's kind of there as a case of if you're unable to catch us after school or arrange something through that, it's there as kind of a backup option. But yeah, we look forward to hearing you and we look forward to working with you this year. So, ready?
Lovely.
Take us, Eddie, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.